Oh, evening. We're here. It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday. All right, calm down. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man. He's sitting next to me right here, making love to his tonic and gin. I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody. I hope you are, and you've got us feeling all right. Now John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. Gets you my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke, or he'll light up your smoke. But there's some place that he'd rather be. He said, John, I believe this is killing me, as a smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. He's a real estate novelist. He never had time for a wife, and he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy, and probably will be for life. And the waitress is practicing politics as the businessman slowly gets stoned. Well, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. It's a pretty good crowd for Sunday, is it?
Yes, it is. Hello, everyone.
Do you mind not interrupting my song?
I don't mind.
With the woohoos and hello everyone
I
and all
don't
that.
mind.
No,
I don't mind.
No, stop. Stop. This is serious artistry going across here, okay?
Yeah.
All right? So,
Yeah.
and the manager, such as she is,
How rude.
who's looking with her longer and longer hair daily.
Tripping over it. Oh, you're just jealous.
Ah, my granddaughter looked at you. She said, "But Grandad, you haven't got any hair." Actually, shorts with a gill for that. Granddad, you haven't got any hair. So
It's a
just
bright
to remind
child.
me.
She's a bright child.
Anyway, she's going there. She's got all that, and the manager with her long hair. When have you got the When have you got your
April the 13th, I think, as soon as I can.
You will not manage April the 13th. I will take the scissors to you at night whilst you're sleeping.
No.
And the manager, reasonably beautiful as she is, she gives me a smile. Not a forced one.
No, a loving one.
genuine-
A loving one.
Yeah, that's not loving, is it? That's 40 years have told me, well, 39 years, that is not loving. That is sarcastic.
Surely
Those of
not.
you know a sarcasm out there from loving, right? That's sarcastic, right? This is loving.
That looks like constipation.
Well, there is constipation involved, often with love. If you
Anyway,
only
carry on with the song. Come on, you've
and
got
then
too much
give
time.
me a smile.
Got
I
too
know we've
much
got a long
to do.
show. A big show. It's a fantastic show.
Yay!
Because she knows it is Smee. They've been Smee.
Smee.
They've been coming to Smee to forget about life and that horrible
while.
thing that surrounds us at the moment with all the rubbish. For a while, and it will be only for a while. And the piano it sounds like a carnival because it's being tuned. Oh yes, just yesterday. And the microphone it smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar, drinking Horlicks and all the rest of the other stuff, and put bread in my jar and say, "Man, what are you doing here?" And the piano sounds like a carnival, and the microphone smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, "Man, what are you doing here?" La la la, la la la. La la la, la la la, la la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. Dies down, the final G major chords die. 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 We welcome you to another great
We do.
TV live from the Steinway Room. What a great privilege it is for you to be here. Sorry, what a great privilege it is for us to be here with you.
In
and
our
for
home.
you to be
In our
anyway,
home
one
with
of those
us.
things. Now, I'm just going to sing a few songs. We've got a packed show tonight,
We
so
have,
lots of
so
requests, and some we won't get through, and some we will get through. And here we go. I just thought this one was just because I wanted to do it, and it's from the new album, which is being released on we hope Easter Day.
Yes,
and,
I reckon
you'll have
I'm
it
going to get
before?
it out before then.
Okay. So John Greenwood, if you're
It's not
listening,
on its way yet.
it's not on its way. All right, just for your information. Now they've got loads of songs, and this one. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? Oh, but don't change your hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine. Stay, it's Valentine's Day. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? Oh, but don't change your hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine. Stay, it's Valentine's Day. Another Insta arrangement from JV.
Nice.
Did you like that?
Nice.
It's
Jade got very excited about
Now,
that.
did you get that cha cha cha? That kind of cha cha cha.
I think it sounds like a sort of French nightclub.
Go on, give me a little bit of what you see as French. Go on, give it again. Go one more
A
time.
bit of a French nightclub.
I'm looking more like this. You're doing this. I don't know what you're doing. You're going, my funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine. No, if you're going to do French, you have to do it is
My funny Valentine.
Valentine. But don't, you mustn't be shaking off the head.
Dear.
Because as soon as you do this, this becomes racist. Okay? And I become in trouble and Facebook shuts me down.
He's had too much coffee today, guys.
I have had too. Much coffee has made me polluted. Now, somebody else is, who asked for this one? Pat Baldridge.
Oh, Pat Woolridge, you say that your dad used to sing this to you. My mum and dad used to sing this all the time. So yes, I'm with you. Parents used to sing this kind of song to us. So thinking of your dad and you.
Didn't Andy Williams sing this one?
He did.
I always consider
But
myself
lots
to be
of
cool.
lots of people sing it.
But did you ever hear?
I'm sure
Did
Frank
you-
Sinatra
Billy-
used to sing it.
Did Billy sing it?
Yes.
He didn't. Because I'm cool. I'm young. I'm hip.
Yeah, just sing it.
Moon river, whiter than a mile. I'm crossing you in style someday. Oh, you dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows, and my huckleberry friend waiting round the bend. Moon River, river. Spot the deliberate mistake. And me. Heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. Oh, we're after the same rainbows, and waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, Moon River, Now, as I sing that song,
Lovely.
I always reflect on the fact that as you get older, now I'm 60 years old, as you know, those of you who sent
We
me
all know.
cards. And the truth of the matter is, your voice changes. I was discussing this with our guest, one of our guests tonight, actually, who is head of singing at Chichester University. And we were reflecting on the fact that how difficult the passing of time is on the voice. Now, for many of you who sung in the shower, and you thought, yeah, my voice is quite decent in the shower, and then you get out.
And you're wet and the voice doesn't sound quite so good.
No, you get out of the bathroom and you go into your bedroom where there is no acoustic. And suddenly you sound like you actually sound. Pretty awful. And now, with a professional singer, suddenly he sees or she sees that she can't do what she used to do. And it was a moment in dialysis this week when I suddenly remembered I sung an opera called The Force of Destiny, and there was a part I did in it called Fra Melitone, which was a monk Melitone, and it was one of my roles, and it started in this one. And that would be my opening, okay, my opening gambit, and it was right in the centre of my voice, and I just sat there and I thought, I can't do that anymore. That has moved on. I don't get the same sound in the voice. And when you heard me sing Moon River, and indeed the first My Funny Valentine, I did a top, those of you know, top F, which is high for me. I did a top F in both of those songs. Now that is unusual. And somebody said, lovely Sue, like she said to me, but you've got different things now.
Yes, I agree.
And I think that's what happens.
I agree.
And that is in life. And I just wanted to say that to you, that you can't do what you could do, but you can do different things. So whatever you can do.
Can I just say that your bottom is so much better than it used to be?
My bottom is so much better than it used to be. You actually said about my bottom, if we could just be personal, it is the least attractive part of your body, not your voice. Now, no, my bottom is exactly the same.
No, your bottom
it's squidgy. You used the word squidgy. Everybody, this is inappropriate, but it's squidgy. That's what she said.
No, it's not squidgy anymore. Well, the voice isn't. So
it's just comedy.
Is just
one after the other. It's just
the
tripping.
voice is just peachy down there.
Peachy. So we are. I was trying to make a serious point. Now you're talking about my bottom. Okay. Sue, dedicate the next one.
Which is?
How many?
I don't know.
Look, how many years have I played this as an introduction?
Are we doing You Raise Me Up?
Yes.
Okay.
That.
Fine.
Look.
Okay.
Oh, stop. No, stop. Right, stop. Okay. How many years have you married me?
40.
Yes, exactly.
No.
Right. How many years have I been singing this? 11, 12 years. I didn't want to sing it at the beginning.
I just lost my
confidence. Refused to sing it.
I know.
And I said, and then I ended up doing an album. Hated the song. Then I started selling thousands. And I love the song.
Let me introduce You Raise Me Up.
I'll
Margaret,
do a gentle,
sorry.
hold on. I'll do a gentle introduction.
Do a gentle introduction.
But I thought you could have led into that nicely without any...
Fine. Margaret Surrey, I'm sorry, I spoilt the introduction to your beautiful song. It was your birthday last Tuesday, I seem to remember from Facebook. And also, Yvonne Scott, it's your birthday Saturday, would that be yesterday? So ladies, you both wanted You Raise Me Up.
In fact, there's one other person, I can't remember.
Lots of other people might want it as well.
They wrote in, and I've forgotten who that person is. So you write in if you requested it, just tell us.
Just
and
let us know.
Let us know quickly, and we will mention you as well. When I am down and oh my soul so weary and trouble comes and my heart burdened be and I'm still and waiting in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. There is no life without its hunger. Each troubled heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I'm filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. Then I am strong and I'm on your shoulders. You raise me up I can be. You raise me up so I could stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas, and I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Well, that was rather lovely, rather beautiful, and for a number of people I think it touched a chord. And Ruth Wallace, your birthday was last Thursday. I think you're still finishing the birthday cake up actually, but happy birthday for last Thursday.
Eat up. Now, what have I got to say? Some people sent a couple of questions, and they said, can we have gatherings of up to 8 people without issues? The answer is, actually, to those of you who asked, I don't even know 8 people without issues, to be honest. Just leaving it there, okay? Anyway, what was quite interesting was my neighbour he banged on the wall yesterday at 4:20 a.m. 4:20 a.m. Can you believe that? Lucky I was still playing music at that time. And he banged and shouted and said, "Can we have a little respect, please?" And I said, well, to be honest, I'm not really a big Aretha Franklin fan, but this one's going out for you. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Yeah, okay, thank you for explaining the joke. Don't explain the humour. If they don't get it, let them go to the explanation sheet at the end on tech issues. Ask Rachel to explain all the jokes.
We could put an explanation sheet on the text.
Or Ben. Ben would be happy to spend all week just answering your requests for humour interpretation. Right, now, I think actually it's time for a couple of serious songs. And this one, I think I've got to do this one because if I don't do it soon... Okay, I'll do this one first. Okay. Right, this one wasn't. It's not a big one, but it's a big one for me. Mm-hmm. I used to sing it for years. Recorded it on my first DVD. It was my first DVD, wasn't it? Yeah, my first. It was VHS.
Video.
When Matthew was only about 6 or 7.
7.
I played this once on the show, and there were lots of tears. And the reason is, I'm going to play this. It's for my granddaughter now.
Yes.
And Poppy, who was 4 yesterday. Yes. And this is going to be difficult for you to hear, but because we're in a bubble, the only party she could have was around here. So Sue got everything in for the film Frozen. She laid the tea out with special sandwiches, little sandwiches, and little party rings. And what else? What else did you have?
Just
a few crisp hula hoops and
that kind of thing.
Poppy came in and was just. She had a big picture of Frozen, big balloons, and presents and things like that, making it special because those two children have been under the knock for a year and more, and everything has been the virus. Sorry, darling, we can't do it because of the virus, and it's just the time. And now. What's interesting about children, I was just talking to Poppy's mum, Julia, about this. I said, "Good night, my angel." Dreams. A child will just do what a child does. It will go back to school tomorrow, March the 8th, or wherever it's been, and they'll just carry on. They'll start playing with it because that's it. Adults not so good at adapting. we get used to our environment and we go, we can't come out, we can't do this, and we'll never be able to leave our house again. And of course you will. So I don't want to hear that from people. Oh, it's too dangerous. No, it's not too dangerous, okay? That's why we're having the vaccine. I would have put, and next week I'll put on again, play the interview from our pharmacology professor. It's not too dangerous. Now, 22 million people vaccinated. That's why we're having the vaccination, so that you can come out again, all right? And it's going to happen. So don't be stuck in your house. Don't say, oh, it's so dangerous. It's too dangerous. It's not too dangerous, all right? Just follow the logic and the science. That's all you do. Don't follow what Bob says from Basingstoke or Angela from Islington. That's not science, all right? And so it's going to happen. And what's beautiful about this line, it says, good night, my angel. Now it's time to dream, and dream how wonderful your life will be. And I just thought about that for them. What they dream about, what she did, she likes to be tickled. She likes to play. She likes to go on the swings. We took her for a walk down to the swings. All these kind of things. This is what a child dreams of. It dreams of simple things, of wonderment, of going to the seaside again and all those things. And actually, a child can show us the way to go. A child can show us that. Remember what Jesus says about if you want to come into the kingdom, follow the example of a little child. Just he comes, suffer the little children to come unto me, and they just sit and they listen to stories and they sit and they trust. All right. So that's this song, and I used to sing it for my own children. Now I sing it for her, and it's "Good Night, My Angel" by Billy Joel. Good night, my angel, time to close your eyes and save these questions for another day. I think I know what you've been asking me. I think you know what I've been trying to say. I promised I would never, and you should always know, wherever you may go, no matter where you are, I never will be far away. Good night, my angel, now it's time to sleep, and still so many things I want to say. Remember all the songs you sang for me when we went sailing on an emerald bay. But like a boat out on the ocean, I'm rocking you to sleep. The water's dark and deep inside this ancient heart. You'll always be a part of me. Good night, my angel, now it's time to dream, and dream how wonderful your life will be. Someday a child may cry, and if you sing this lullaby, then in your heart there will always be a part of me. Someday we'll all be gone, but lullabies go on and on. they never die. That's how you and I will be. And that's for little Poppy Vera.
Yeah,
And that was
bless her.
spot the deliberate mistake. Sue asked me as I was shaving, I hope you like my shaving, by the way, and that
Yeah,
was
it was-
done at 10 to 8, all right? 10 to 8. The saw. And what was so interesting about it was that how much hair I've got on my ears.
Got
I was
more in.
shaving, literally, it looked like the Black Forest, just around here, all right, and here. And don't want to look at my nasal passages.
No, we
That
don't.
is, you can't get any, there are these little kind of, these, but I start tweezing, great big long hairs. There's nothing up here, and it's all here. Grandad's bald. All right, there we go. Now it is well.
Big song.
Oh, big song. Oh yeah, big song. You keep shifting
Well,
me around.
Said,
Would you
you
just,
said that's what you wanted to do.
what we can do after the Oh yeah, that's right. This is an enormous song. It's enormous to sing.
And Hayley Starkey, you asked for this. It's a year since your dear mum died. And so this is your song, No More Night.
Also for Lynn Bird.
And Lynn, who always asks for it.
No, that's why I don't sing it.
Start again.
No more nights, no more pain, no more tears, never crying again, and prisoners to the great arm. We will live in the light of the risen night. The timeless theme, earth and heaven will pass. It's not a dream. God will make all things new that day. Gone is the curse from which I stumbled and fell. Even is banished to eternal hell. Never crying again, and praises to the great I am. We will live in the light of the risen all around. Now the nations bow down to sing. The only songs are the praises to Christ our King. Slowly the names from the book are read. So there's no need to dread. No more nights, no and praises to the great I am. We will live in the light of the risen Lamb. See over there's a mansion prepared just for me, where I will live with my Savior eternally. No more night, no more pain, no more tears, never crying again, and the praises to the great I am. We will live in the light of the risen When I
Wow.
recorded that in
Big sing indeed.
I recorded
In Nashville,
it in Nashville. Oh my goodness, I did it live, didn't I?
16, you did.
If you
was
buy that
fabulous.
album, it is well. You'll hear me singing it absolutely.
Perfectly.
Yeah, with no. Unlike tonight.
It was still fantastic. Lots of people reduced to tears on that one. Seemed to be a lot of anniversaries of mums going this week, so bless you all.
Right. Now,
It is well?
Well, and I want to sing that one
Okay,
because that's nice and that's a nice calm one.
Michael Cooper,
Michael
this
Cooper.
beautiful song is for you. It is your 74th birthday tomorrow, so congratulations for that. And we are delighted that you are still with us and still going strong.
Actually, and the treatment.
Yeah, that the treatment is
Doing
holding
something
and doing
you,
something, which is
and,
great.
which is nice to have you
So
with
it's
us, Michael.
good too. But also, this is for a special lady called Lorraine Todd in a retirement village in Brisbane in Australia. So Lorraine, you
lovely
always
Beth's
join
mum.
us. So you're Beth's mum, and we are delighted that you're with us, and we send you lots of love, and this song is also for you.
Happy memories, Beth. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, you have taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul. It is well.
It is well
With my soul.
with my soul.
It is well. It is well with my soul. My sin, oh the bliss of this glorious thought. My sin, not in part, but the whole, is nailed to the cross, and I perish It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. And Lord, haste the day when my faith shall be sight. The clouds be rolled back as a scroll. The trumpet shall sound, and the Lord shall descend. Even so, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. When peace like a river when peace like a river Michael Cooper and many others.
Yes, and
Whose minds are not particularly there. It may not be well with your mind, but it is well with your soul. You'll hear a bit more from Sue after our interview, but I've been asked to do a story. Now, they asked me to sing some opera. Colin Bora. I'm sure that there could never be a more contented man than me. I earn my living as I please. I charm the birds from out the trees. The moment they attract my eye, I call the birds and down they fly. So when you hear my music play, you'll know that I'm not far away. If only I could cast a spell to capture pretty girls as well, my net would catch them by the score. Each day I'd catch 100 more. And soon I would fulfill my dream, 1,000 girls in my harem. And I'd hang my net up and retire. I sing German. Der Vogelfänger bin ich ja, das ist lustig, heißer Hopsasa. Ich Vogelfänger bin bekannt, bei Alt und Jung im ganzen Land. Weiß mit dem Locken umzugehen und mich das Pfeifen zu verstehen. Drum kann ich froh und lustig sein und alle Vögel sind ja mein. Now I did that from memory because I did it in German, of course, the Kleinborn, and then I did it in English for the Covent Garden Festival way back when. And I was singing this aria, and those of you who've heard the story before, you can turn off, go make a cup of tea, but don't, because it's nice. And the reason I've remembered it is because of the Meghan Markle debacle. I love that. I just made that up on the spot. I don't care. Just so that you know, I don't care. The Daily Mail and the Daily Croc and the Telegraph can fight it out amongst themselves. I do not care one way or the other, okay? But why it reminds me is because I was there doing this role of in the Magic Flute by Mozart with a very famous conductor, what was her name, Jane Glover, with the London Mozart Players, and it was a big role for me, one of the big times when I thought, wow, this has really opened up the London market to me, blah, 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 blah. And so off I went, and we started rehearsing for 6 weeks. And the director had organised it so that I would go, and he'd go, and I'd walk into the, it was done in the round, we were doing it in the round, so 2,500 people in the round in central London. And so the idea was I'd sing the first verse, it came with 3 verses, and I'd sing the first verse, and then I'd run down into the audience, sit on the lap of a gentleman, and sing to a lady that second, and play like this. And just before the 3rd verse, they'll all be laughing. Did this first night. I got rave reviews. Sue was reading about it in the Guardian the next day. Going to me, she said, "That's me, my husband." And me playing the magic flute. I've often had the picture up here. And this was way back in 92,
93. I was pregnant with Nick at the time.
And so I thought, okay, yeah, this was going terribly well, and everything was really going sparkling well for me at that time. And we just thought, okay. It came to the point where we'd done the first night, rave reviews, second night, and then it came to the 3rd night, and I was walking across the Waterloo Bridge with my jeans and my t-shirt on, because the first night I could not paid any attention to any emails that I got, that I never did, never read anything. And I was just going through the whole thing in my mind. It was a very long role. I had to do a lot of dialogue, and it was in English, but I had to do a lot of dialogue as well as 3 arias, plus ensembles, plus everything, and I was driving the show. And it was a lead comic role. And so got across the bridge. And as I got across the bridge, I started seeing lots of ambulances and police. I thought, oh, there's a major incident going on here. I wonder what that is. And I got too close to my venue, and the whole area was cordoned off. Couldn't get in or out. You couldn't make them head to toe. And I thought, oh no. And I went round to where I thought I should get in, and there were great big policemen guarding the place. And I said, excuse me, I've got to go in. And you have to understand, I was in a pair of jeans, a t-shirt, and a rucksack. Right, looking like this, and I said, "I've got to get in." They said, "I don't think so, mate." So I said, "No, I'm the lead role." I said, "I'm in the." They said, "Yeah, right." So I had to sing on the street. I'm sure that they said, "All right, calm down." And they let me in, and I got through the security. And I said, "What's happening?" They said, "Oh, it's a royal gala, and it's Princess Diana tonight." And I went, "What?" Yeah, you're doing it in front of a raw performance, and with all it's the glitterati tonight, and she's raising money for a charity, and da-da-da. So I said, oh goodness, okay, all right, okay. Got into the dressing room, get in there. I'm going to cut story along, really long story, and I'm sharing it with 2 others. They were difficult dressing room situations. So I was dressing up as a chicken. Okay, that's what it was. I was half man, half bird. That's the way it works in the opera. And as I'm getting an in walk. 2 of the biggest policemen I've ever seen. It must be about 6'8", something like that, wide. Okay, and the guy comes to me. He said, "Hello, Mr. Vera, could I have a word with you, please?" This will appeal to you, John Bown. He said, "I could have a word with you, please." And they were both packing. I saw as they walked across. They were both packing Smith & Wessons. All right, here, guns, right here, tucked in. They said, "We're the security. We've been in and we've seen what you've been doing the last couple of nights. We would strongly suggest." You don't do it tonight. You don't go anywhere near Her Majesty, Her Royal Highness,
Princess Diana.
Princess Diana. So I said, okay. And one of them said, of course, not unless you want it to be a hole where your head used to be. That's what the words he said. So he went, and he walked off. And as he walked off, I walked back in, and the guys went, they waited until he'd gone and went, do it. Of course, I don't wear glasses on stage, as you can tell, and I don't wear contacts ever since one of them folded on and when I was doing Falstaff and Glyndebourne, I thought I can't do that anymore. So, didn't do that. So I run down, I know what I'm thinking now, trying to remember the words, trying to remember everything, and trying to look out for the tiaras. I like this. And I run down, this is a very long story short, it's in the book, run down book one, and I run down, and as I get down to the bottom, I'm singing the first verse. I'm sure that there could never be. And I'm looking, trying to eye out. And I thought what I saw was a big white dress. And I thought, avoid the big white dress, sequin dress, that's got to be hers. So I headed left instead of right, off the platform to sing the second verse. And I sat on the lap of a lady.
No.
And, sat on the lap of a gentleman and sung to the lady. And there was absolute silence. The first 2 nights had been raucous. Everybody laughing. She was laughing. Everybody was laughing. It was absolute silence. They would always wait for the roar to laugh. Nothing. And I got off the thing, and I looked when I'd finished singing the verse, I looked back and I realised that I recognised the guy I was sitting on the lap of, and the reason was I just sat on the lap of the guy who presented me my degree back in the Royal Albert Hall, His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent. I just sat on the lap of the Duke of Kent. So I got off. Afterwards, we're presented, and I'm going right through it very quickly. And we're presented, and as we're being presented, I was the last one to be presented, and the Princess Diana came by, and she was very coy with me. She said, I'm just so glad that you didn't come and sing to me. She said, I would have died. I said, actually, I would have done. and we talked for about 8 minutes, something like that, and about everything. She hated opera, and she loved Simply Red and all that kind of stuff. But she enjoyed this performance. She loved the comedy and everything else. Anyway, HRH comes along, Duke of Kent, and he looks at me. Last one, he goes, "You're the young man who." And I was trying to hide myself underneath my chicken beak. And he said, "You're the young man who sat on my lap, weren't you?" I said, "Well, yes. Your greatness, So he said, "Actually, I rather enjoyed it." And that's my story of the royal. That's my royal story, opera story. Now, what's the time? 59. We've got to do. Literally, we're late.
We are.
When you're down and trouble, and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. Sing it with me now. Come on, everybody. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, put your head together now and call my name out loud. Soon I'll be knocking at at your door. You just called out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will.
You've got a friend.
Oh, darling, you've got a friend. But darling, you've got a friend. My sweet darling, you've got a friend. My darling, you've got a friend. I thought I'd use every single note on the piano at that point. Now,
Speaking of which,
you've got it. What now?
speaking of which, you've got friends.
I've got friends, and it's hard to believe, but I've got friends, real friends, and two of them are going to be. I'm going to introduce them to you now, and they're going to talk for themselves. We did a fantastic interview here on Thursday because they're such hard-working people. They couldn't really afford the time to give it up on Sunday Live, so we recorded it on Thursday. We know you're going to find it interesting. It's Stephen, the composer. He's going to tell you all about himself, and Sue, the singer, and she's going to sing you a lovely couple of songs. And there's going to be me in the background, just interviewing gently as I do. Right. In the meantime, we'll see you and Sue singing "The Lord's My Shepherd" when we come back, and a few more songs before we leave you tonight. Enjoy this interview, Stephen.
See you soon.
Have a good time. Tell them what you do, Steve.
Welcome to my studio. JV has asked me to give you a little whistle-stop tour of my writing room. It's not a recording studio. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you around very, very briefly, and I promise not to geek out too much. Essentially, as you can see, I've got a number of keyboards, and in fact, there are more around here, which we will get to in a moment. I am a fan of flashing lights and coloured screens, so I'm joking, of course, but each one of these synthesizers does something very different. And in fact, this is my very first synthesizer, which I bought with the help of my parents when I was 15 in London in 1984, and I've still got it. And this one is my latest acquisition. Which is, lots of flashing lights and wonderful sounds. Okay, let's move around. So some of these synthesizers are from the 1990s, some are from the 1980s, and some are bang up to date. Around on the walls, you will see acoustic treatment, acoustic panels. The ones with wood on the front are diffusers, so they scatter high frequency sounds. So all of the high notes that you hear, and the panels that are red absorb certain frequencies, and the ones in the corners are what we call bass traps, and they prevent bass build-up or standing waves, as we call them. So I'll bring you around to the rack, and in fact you can see a djembe there as well. I have a number of percussion instruments, and this particular device here with the wires hanging out of it is called a patch bay, and essentially what that does is allows me to connect any of those synthesizers to any piece of equipment in this rack, or indeed vice versa. Okay, so we have audio interfaces here, we have compressors, we have equalizers, we have other synthesizers that are controlled via remote keyboards. This device here is actually made by a company called Tasty Chips, bizarrely, but it's a fabulous piece of equipment. This little rack here is known as a lunchbox. So I don't know why, but that's its colloquial name, but it has some lovely effects in it that you find on various mixing desks and outboard equipment. One of the great ironies is that this green device, which is a lovely bus compressor, it doesn't squash the number 39 bus, but it was designed by a chap called Ted Fletcher. And Ted Fletcher worked with Joe Meek in London. And Ted Fletcher is a friend of mine's father, Guy Fletcher's father. And Ted literally lives around the corner from me. And he still makes these at the age of 83, literally where we live in Aldwick. He's a bit of a legend, absolute legend. Okay, I'm just going to fly over. There's a guitar pedal here, which is called Big Sky. This is a machine called a Virus, nothing to do with COVID, thankfully, but something from the 90s. And we have my main kind of workstation area here. So this is where I write, and I have 2 touch screens, so I'm able to manipulate things in real time. So I'll just touch the screen and you can see the faders moving up and down, and I can do all sorts of things. And these touch screens are custom programmable, so I can program anything I want into them. And that's pretty much my view every day of my life. And moving around here, those are my monitors, my speakers, and they're powered internally. And here are some other synthesizers, which again have lots of lovely flashing lights on them. Finally, here is a Casio keyboard. And nothing special about Casio keyboards necessarily. They're very well made. And I shall just turn the light on so you'll be able to see it more closely. There we go. But there is this little plaque there which says Bechstein, developed in collaboration with Bechstein. And in fact, this keyboard is the keyboard from their grand pianos. So it's actually lifted directly from the grand piano. It's fully weighted and it has hammers like a real piano. But of course they just hit contacts. But it feels extraordinarily like playing a piano, which is fabulous. I won't show you the back of the studio because I'm mid-project and it's slightly untidy. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the Whistle Stop Tour.
Well, here we are, a very special couple of guests that we've got here tonight with you. Great personal friends of mine and lovely, lovely people, genuinely lovely people, and some of the best people that I know. Stephen Basted and Susan Legg, and welcome to JV live from the Steinway Room.
Thank you very much.
JV.
Lovely to be here.
Absolutely, especially
nice
after the
to
World
see you
like
in
that.
your lovely. Look at your wonderful studio you've got there.
It's rather messy at the moment, JV.
Is it messy? Is that messy? Oh
Yeah,
gosh!
yeah, no, it really is.
You
sure
need to come to our house where it looks like a permanent burglary.
I thought you had a virtual background up, actually, Stephen.
I should have done it.
Yeah, you should have one of those Zoom backgrounds.
Yeah.
I've got mine walking somebody else's dog. Truly, that's my background now. Guys, welcome. And I've been having this idea for quite a long time to get you both, because you're a married couple living down. Where do you live?
Aldwick.
Aldwick,
Aldwick.
which is like Baldwick, really. It's like it's Bognor, really, isn't it? It's Bognor, isn't it?
Basically, it's in between Bognor and Pagan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't. Yeah, but you don't like to call it Bognor, do you? Be honest. You're a bit posh.
No, it is Aldwick, actually. Parish of Aldwick.
Okay,
Well-
it's very lovely. I've been there. It is special. In fact, I remember walking down there, and all the neighbours phoned the police. So, but you're very close to the sea, which we love, and it's so beautiful down there.
Yeah.
And it's lovely to have you with us. Now, look, the reason I wanted you on is because you've got such different disciplines. You're both musicians. But I want to talk to Stephen. Stephen, just introduce Stephen first. Stephen, introduce yourself. What do you do?
Make noise, I think, is the term.
Make noise and get paid for it.
Yeah, I write music for films, television, and video games. So that's my kind of the musical specialism. But I also work at the University of Chichester as professor of film, TV, and games composition. So I teach not that much these days, but I teach students, master's level students, to compose commercially. So I'm a commercial composer as well.
Right. So your nomenclature is Dr. Stephen, isn't it? Dr. Stephen, as I'd like to call you, Herr Doctor, Herr Doctor Professor. And how did you? From my memory, you didn't start as a composer, did you? You were an estate agent. Is that right?
I have a bit of a not checkered past, but I, age of 11, went to Wandsworth Boys' School, very famous choir, of course. There, so I was a treble in that choir. Then I learnt the clarinet, and then I went to Pimlico School every Saturday morning, Centre for Young Musicians, London School Symphony Orchestra as a clarinetist. And then around the time of the A-levels, I decided that it would be a good idea not to pursue music and become an estate agent. This is the very end of the 80s, so 87.
Yes.
I'm sure it wasn't the lure of a 205 GTI and a big mobile phone. Well, they weren't mobile. they were just bricks. So at the age of 18, I was stomping around London trying to flog houses and flats and things, which it was good. Actually, to be honest, it was good fun until the stock market crashed, and that wasn't great. And then, to cut a very long story short, I ended up going back to university when I was 21 as a mature student. I went to Southampton University, and my dad said, to my mum, he'll be back in a month. And then sort of 7 years later, I'm still a student. So did a very, very traditional undergrad music degree, music history and theory and Fuchs, the Gradus ad Parnasse and the counterpoint stuff. Then I did masters at Southampton in 18th century French opera, and then I did a PhD in Dartington College of Arts on 18th century French opera. So nothing to do with film composition or games or anything like that. And then I got a first academic post in '98 after I lived in France for 3 years, allegedly doing research, and then did that for 5.5 years, and then came to Chichester in 2003. Just before that, I'd always played in bands at school and university, keyboards and things, and written songs that no one should ever hear in their lives because they're so terrible. And I also continued that all the way through university, writing songs and playing in bands, and really getting into film music in the early 90s.
Yes.
And so, I mean, they had a very primitive studio at Southampton University, and my lecturer felt so sorry for me, basically gave me the key to it because I was in there all the time. So I always had that love of technology, synthesizers, composing stuff. And then, I think it was 2000, the year 2000, I got to get, I'm a motorsport nutcase fan, love cars, as we know, we share that love.
Oh, I do, yeah.
And I used to race online with people when the internet was just about stable enough with dial-up.
Oh yeah, dial-up.
And anyway, long story short, we reverse engineered the game and ended up being given an ultimatum by the owner of the IP of the racing series, saying, we'll seed fund you a company with the group of people that I was kind of working with, or cease and desist letter. So we obviously chose the company. So set up a games company, and that was 2001, I think, and we've released 16 commercial games since then. And then TV stuff started to happen in 2011, 12, and film as well. So that's it, basically.
You really have. I mean, and I've seen, many of you will have seen and heard his music over very many things. We'll talk to you again, Steve. So can I just move to you? You are head of singing. You employed me. You're my line manager at Chichester. And so you tell me off when there are things to be told off.
No, I don't. There's never anything to tell you off about.
But can I say that you are a fabulous musician, and you accompany me very often in the concerts that we do together. When we used to do things like concerts, if you remember those things.
Absolutely.
But you studied piano first, was that right, at the Royal Academy?
Well, I did. Actually, it was really funny with piano because I went to piano lessons when I was, I suppose, about 10. I just accompanied my sister to lessons because there was the lure of the sweet shop on the corner of the road. And after our lessons, we could have a lollygobble chop bomb. And that is the only reason I went to piano lessons. So, I know. I didn't understand a thing, not a single thing. So once those lessons ended and the second piano teacher I went to would fall asleep, I just sort of carried on and taught myself at home, really. And eventually went to South Downs College in Portsmouth in Pembroke, which was great to do A-levels.
Yes.
Met wonderful pianist Clifford Benson. He came to do a masterclass at the college, and I ended up studying with him as well. So that was fantastic.
Wow.
And he really helped to get me into the Royal College, where I studied with Phyllis Selleck.
Look, college. So I'm so sorry. Called you the academy.
Yeah, it was great. And I was doing violin second study, but singing was just coming along. So, you know, as it does when you're a little bit older, sort of 19, it starts to show its hand, doesn't it? So I did piano first study and singing second study, and then eventually I did the joint first. But I did lots of accompanying, and I always loved that. And I've always
so good at
dear
it.
to my heart. But I've so enjoyed playing for you, and I can't wait to do it again.
No, it'd be lovely. I wanted to have you live in the studio here and doing a little some stuff, and then we might have people to do again. But I met you at Glyndebourne Opera in I can't remember now.
And also,
or was it Wexford? I can't remember. Was it Wexford or Glyndebourne?
I think I did meet you at Glyndebourne. I think I saw you at Glyndebourne, but I don't think we met there. But then we met in Wexford.
Yes.
That was a lovely, lovely time.
It was doing La Bohème by Leoncavallo, wasn't it?
Really unusual.
It was.
Yeah.
As always. Sue, let's not talk about it anymore. Why don't you do the piece, just introduce it for us before you're going to play and sing, which is difficult to do, and people forget how difficult it is. I try and tell everybody out there it's very difficult, but they don't really believe me. But you're about to sing some French opera, aren't you?
Yes, I'm going to sing Carmen's Habanero, and she spills out of the cigarette factory and says, "Love is like an untamed bird. If you look for it, it will fly away. If you leave it alone, it will come to you." Well, that's the plan.
That's
I'm just going to
go and sing it for us now, Sue.
Right,
That's lovely.
I just need to do something quickly technical, and that should be fine.
Thank you for that, Steve.
Okay. And
what a privilege this is. Right, here we go.
Rien
the crowd go wild all over the world. They're watching you in New Zealand, Australia, Germany, Oslo, all over Great Britain and Ireland. How about that?
Wow.
Well, thank you, Sue. At last, some culture. We have culture in this show.
last.
It's been
I don't know about
46 shows waiting for culture. And now we've got it. Finally.
Oh,
I mean, so isn't it lovely, Steve, to hear us singing again?
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It is, actually.
Yeah, she's the proper musician.
ridiculous. We're all looking forward to doing concerts again soon, aren't we? We really are.
Oh, it's just...
It's coming. The time is coming.
I know. It's lovely what you've done to try and motivate the students towards doing concerts again. I've got various students who said, "Oh no, I don't want to do it," and I said, "You will do it." So you're doing the concert on Friday. So tomorrow they're doing the concert,
It's
and
lovely.
and it's lovely. It's lovely to see how we are trying to get them back in. They can't wait. There are people out there, Polly, people like that, who are just desperate to sing and get with a pianist again in real life.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic. Sue, thank you so much for singing that. And you sing a lot of concert work, don't you? And you do quite a lot of work. You've done a lot of work on cruises, I believe.
Yes, I've done quite a lot of cruises since the age of about 30, I suppose. I suppose I must
So
have
for
done about-
5 years or so,
yeah,
then,
only
5 or 6
a
years.
couple of years, you know. Yeah, I've done loads of cruises. I've been up the Amazon 3 times, which was really interesting.
Really?
Yeah, amazing, really great experience. And the funny thing there as well was on board ship with all the strange insects flying on board. You'd
Really?
go out onto deck and you'd find these sort of huge, not locusts, but I don't know what they were. They were massive and they just come sort of bombing onto the deck. You think, whoa, what's that? So that was weird. You know, the further you got down the Brown River, they called it, you'd get these strange insects hopping on board. But yeah, it was a great experience. Fantastic. And
Wow.
then we went sort of piranha fishing, and that was good fun. But actually, my favourite destination has to be Norway. I've been a lot, and that
beautiful
scenery is just second to none. I absolutely love it.
It's stunning. I totally agree with you. I mean, I went in the winter, always in the winter to the
Really?
Opera House.
Right.
And I loved going up there. I just loved going out into the hills. And it was just beautiful, stunning. So cold, though. Oh, my goodness. Minus 26, you know, when we were there.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
A lot of rain.
Anyway, let's move on. Steve, back to you. Just could you tell the viewers out there the kind of just a little list of the things that you've in on telly that they may have seen, things that they may have heard you do.
On TV, I've done a couple of series fairly recently, BBC series with Tom Kerridge, the Michelin star chef.
Okay.
One was called Loose Weight for Good and the other one was called Fresh Start.
Yes.
So I did that a couple of years back. I'm working, that's why my studio's a bit of a mess at the moment. I'm working on the 5th series I've done of a program called Ancient Mysteries. That's for Channel 5.
Yes.
And it's set in ancient Egypt or Petra or...
Oh yeah, I heard you did some fantastic stuff you sent me of that. That really was outstanding.
Thank you. I'll 5 in the post, JD. And
Sadly,
I've done a series for Channel 4 called Volatile Earth, which was a 3-part thing for Channel 4 on volcanoes, hurricanes, and floods. That's one. And then I've done another thing which, curiously named, was called Mega Croc versus Giant Snake, but that was for Channel 4. And it's a kind of...
I love the sound of that.
But it's actually quite scary. So they found in this big quarry in Mexico, these scientists have found these fossils of a 45-foot boa constrictor type snake. And huge girth, and a croc that was something like 40 foot long.
Oh my word!
They were trying to figure out which one would be the apex predator. So,
yes.
And they worked out that the snake had eaten a whole crocodile. So in the end, but that was really fascinating. Those sort of documentaries are good as well.
So now look, okay, we know I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you're a big star. I always go #proud. Really, I am. I'm always so thrilled that you've done so well, because you deserve to. And I think actually that your writing is brilliant. Actually, it's brilliant, and the way you manipulate technology and sound and all of that. Now, I'm just going to set you a little challenge, because people don't know. What we're going to do is we're going to set the screen up. We're going to have a little kind of a moment as you set the screen up. And then we're going to just say, look, I'm going to give you a scenario and see whether you can write some music, because we're not allowed to play copyrighted music on here right now, okay? Because of Facebook and YouTube. So you can out of your head find something that will just paint the picture. Well, I think we'll do horror. But we'll let you set up. We're just going to have a little moment of break as you set up, and then come back, and you're going to do some really exciting stuff for us. How about that?
Hopefully that sounds like fun.
Okay.
What challenge?
Let's take a few minutes. Okay. So here we are in a very interesting position now with Steve. We're going to just set Steve a bit of a target. See what you can do. A little.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. But I think actually, being star of stage and screen, I think you're more than up to the task. We just thought about doing something, I don't know, that would be a traditional horror film, you know, a kind of some kind of creation of it's a dark room, you know, somebody walking through a house, and they're not sure, the lights have gone out. They don't know where anything is. They don't know where the handle is. You know, when it's actually all they see is shadows. What kind of music would you compose for that? Give us some suspense stuff.
Some horror music, probably.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So I'll just show your audience what they're looking at. So this is it's a program called Cubase, and it's a program that you can produce music on and compose music on. And if I just scroll down, what you're seeing here is lots and lots of what we call sample libraries that are recordings of real instruments, and also lots of synthesizers and things like that. So, for example, here if I want to have a French horns, a big French horn thing. So I'll just click on these two, and we should, in theory, hear some French horns. Okay.
Yeah.
So there are woodwind, there's brass, there's strings, all manner of string libraries. I've got lots of pianos and synthesizers. So everything at my fingertips that I need to compose music to. So, for example, I've got, and we're going to start with this sound in a second, but I've got these sort of big string ensemble sounds. So big string sounds, all of that sort of stuff. So everything is at my fingertips. So if I'm writing and I think, oh, I just need a clarinet, I can just flick up to the woodwind up here and then just press a button wherever my clarinet is, and have a clarinet sound, and so on. So that's why there are so many tracks on here, etc.
Yes.
So horror, I think, well, the best place to start, I think, is with a drone.
Suspense. Call it suspense. Suspense. How about that?
Suspense. So what we need is a drone, and the drone is just a very low note. So I'm just going to play this, and hopefully you're going to start to feel a bit tense. And what we need now,
Already.
I know, what we need now from JV is some kind of, it's going to happen. We don't know when it's going to happen.
Yes. Okay, go and lay it down and I'll. This summer.
And then if we want to get even more tense, we can just add a very high note on top.
Go on then. Oh, yeah, yeah.
So we could have something like that, you know, and that is as a sort of background. So I'm just going to record that. Hopefully it'll record. So we just start off with that.
Yeah. There it is.
Okay, so we're just going to do sort of 6 bars, and I'll just build it up gradually.
Yes.
So one of the things about horror is, and it's the reason why the music works in this way. All of the stuff I'm going to be doing with this are they're cliches in a sense, tropes of things that your audience will have heard over and over again when they've watched horror films. So I think what we'll have next is a piano, because pianos are really good. I'll just find my piano. Nice piano. Good, that's quite loud. One of the things we can do with pianos, obviously, is have really low notes, which sound great. That sort of sounds. All of that sort of crashy stuff. But what's really, really, how should I put it, disturbing is if we start doing stuff at random like this. And the reason why it's disturbing is because we don't know where it's going to go. And as human beings, we love predictability. We love to know what's going to happen. So I'll just record a bit of that over the top at random.
You just walked into the piano. Yeah.
So we got.
It's terrifying. I mean, it is really, isn't it? It's kind of like, ah!
So now what we'll have is a bit of tam action, I think. So it's big gong.
Okay.
So I've got some of these. I'm trying to find the right sound here. I should have some scrapes, actually, if I can find them. No, I can't find those. Yeah, this is good. So I'm going to use a synthesizer here, synthesizer plugin. And this has got all sorts of amazing sounds on it. So I'll just search for something that I need. There we go. I think that should be good. And we'll do these soundscapes. And we'll do...
Everybody, as we're watching this is not being prepared. This is just something I've asked him to do, just literally off the cuff. Okay, so this is. So
I can't remember what this sounds like. This might sound quite good though. No, that's not the right one. This might be quite good though. Not the thing I was thinking of. This is quite good. So the normal process would be, just trying to build a whole texture up, trying to find the right kinds of sounds. Oh, that's quite good. So I'm going to start off with that now.
Okay.
So obviously everyone knows.
Wow,
this is very rough, of course, because it is very rough. So hopefully there are no film directors watching.
No, exactly. Hey, they might buy it.
They might buy it. Chance would be funny. Where are you? So that's the trouble with having too many tracks. You can never find anything. There we go. That's it.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I think we probably need one more kind of layer potentially. So I'm going to go for, I'm just going to do something with that. I'll just highlight it and render it very quickly. Hopefully the Nuendo hasn't crashed. No, it hasn't. That's good. When you see the beach ball, it's always a bit.
That's a bit of worry. Yeah.
It's a bit of a worry. I'm just.
Yeah, it is.
Right, just bear with me 1 second while that renders. And I'm going to look for another sound. I think we need some kind of vocal sound somehow.
Oh, no.
Some kind of spooky vocal. Organs. Yeah, it could have an organ. Does anyone like organs, actually, by the way? I'll turn it up a bit. There we go. Right, so now let's find a vocal sample, which could be quite cool. I think human voices. What's this sounding like?
That's nice. Yeah. Like that.
Let's try. I'll tell you what, we'll try one more thing. Let's see. Oh yeah, we've got all these choir samples, which are quite good. I know what we need. That's a red herring. What we need is some kind of string effect here. And I've just got the right thing. There we go. Just going to get up here. Sorry, hopefully no one's fallen asleep yet. Right, let's have a look at it. There you go. Enable that.
No, we're living in terror.
There we go.
The JV community is now shaking in its boots.
Exactly.
So these, by the way, are all sound libraries with different things, and that's one, isn't it? Good. Okay, so have a listen to this.
That's terrifying.
So we're gonna.
Sounds like me in the morning, actually, just after I've had a wash.
Or we could do this as well.
Oh yes. That's an unknown animal.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up with that, and then I'll tie it up. So here we go.
Right, go on then. Put it all together.
Yeah. So. We just need that low note to continue a bit longer under there, and then we're pretty much done. I think hopefully. Let's have a look, see if I can do that. There we go. I'm just stretching that note a bit. So there we go. So that's what it should sound like. So I'll play it back now.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is the debut.
There we go.
Fantastic. Gosh, and it's a great process. It's a great process, and it takes hours and weeks just to find just a tiny amount of music, doesn't it?
Sometimes, yeah. Or if you're put on the spot by JV,
then in seconds.
But no,
yes.
in also, I'll stop sharing now so I can sit down.
Yeah.
See, the real issue is when you're doing TV, for example, like I'm doing at the moment, doing a TV show, 6 episodes. You usually get an episode a week, and you're composing sort of 5-6 minutes of music a day. So it's very, very hefty schedule. Game stuff is much more drawn out than that, and then film is equally drawn out. So it's the TV that's the really fast turnaround thing. So
Steve, it's been fascinating. Really, what can I say? It's music that people don't really know. They haven't seen this kind of thing before. I know for a fact most people haven't experienced this. So we'll put all that together that we've had a. Now, what we will do is, as a final kind of a goodbye, because I think the time is gone, is just a couple of bits of what I would call real music, Steve.
Exactly. I would have real music as well, actually.
And this, so
definitely.
So the music that makes money, and then the real music, right? That makes nothing, eh, Sue? We do it for the love of it, don't we, lovey?
What are we doing? What is going on?
I know. So, Sue, could you just play us out now, in the time-honoured fashion,
What are you going to sing for us?
Well, I've chosen a really lovely song. I've been arranging a few Celtic things recently. I thought this was Irish, but it turns out it's actually Northumbrian. It's the Rose of Allendale, and it's really lovely. Okay, here we go. Oh, the sky was clear, the morn was fair, no breath came over the sea. When Mary left her Highland home and wandered forth with me, all the flowers decked the mountainside, her fragrance filled the vale. By far the sweetest flower there was the Rose of Allendale. Sweet Rose of Allendale, sweet Rose of Allendale, by far the sweetest flower there was the Rose of Allendale. Sweet Rose of Allendale, sweet Rose of Allendale, by far the sweetest flower there was the Rose of Allendale.
So beautiful. Thank you so much, Sue,
Thank you.
Steve. What a pleasure it's been having you with us.
It's been lovely to
And
meet you. Thank you.
it's just, I know that the community is just going to be overwhelmed with your presence, your artistry, and we thank you. And we look forward actually to having dinner with you very soon.
Likewise, baby.
Great idea.
That'll be,
It won't be long.
be lovely.
These are the moments that we love so well. Precious moments caught within a spell. All too soon our lives they fade away. These are the moments that we wish would stay. And if I had my life to live again, I would choose to be with you, my friend. Time moves slowly and it goes so fast, and who knows how long the days will last. So cherish deep within you the love you get today. Let the moments linger, for tomorrow steals that away. Tomorrow steals that away. These are the memories that we made so well. Lives like stories that we long to tell. When we're old with not too much to say, reach deep within you. The love you get today. Let the moments linger, for tomorrow steals that away. Tomorrow steals that away. These are the moments that we made so well. Lives like stories that we long to tell. When we're old, it might be too much to say. We'll have the memories that we made today. We'll have the memories that we made today. Love that song.
Beautiful.
From the new album?
So lovely to know that you enjoyed meeting our friends. That's what's very special, actually, special moments. And we love Sue and Steve. They've been such good, faithful friends over the years. So we're
Did some
delighted
beautiful
that you
things for
enjoyed
us.
what they brought. So thank you, Sue and Steve.
Lovely. Now you'll hear my lovely Sue. Who's this for, Sue?
This is for Linda Marshall. Your concerns are deep for your family at the moment, and so we sing this for you, but also for Cindy. Jonathan couldn't quite manage the one that you wanted him to do, so we'd like to sing this one for you tonight.
And also for Lucas.
And for Lucas, I'm so sorry to hear about Philip, Lucas. This one is also for you, for some peace, for you and Sarah and the rest of the family.
The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. He makes me lie in pastures green. He leads me by the still waters. His goodness restores my soul, and I will trust in you.
I will trust in you.
And I will trust in you.
I will trust in you.
For your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home.
He guides my ways in righteousness, and he anoints my head with oil, and my cup it overflows with joy. I feast on his pure delights.
And I will trust
I will
in
trust,
you
I will trust
alone.
in you.
And I and I will trust in you alone. Yes, I will trust in you alone. For your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home. Now, there's so many songs that we can't sing for you tonight. I'll just sing a couple of verses of this. I'm not going to sing the whole thing because we haven't got time. I'll sing the first and the last verse, okay? And it's this one is for Davey.
Dougie Robertson, it's your birthday today. You are 70, and Kathy asked for this one for you. So I'm sorry it's slightly shorter, but happy birthday, dear man, because it's your birthday today, 70 today.
Be on the new album, this one.
It will be.
Beautiful version. God of the moon and stars, God of the near and far, God of the fragile hearts we are, I come to you. God of our history, God of the future that will be, what will you make of me? I come to you. God of the meek and mild, God of the reckless and the wild, God of the unreconciled, I come to you. God of our life and death, God of our secrets unconfessed, God of our every living breath, I come to you. God of our joy and grief, God of the lawyer and the thief, God of our faith and unbelief, I come to you. God of the wounds we bear, God of the deepest dreams we share, God of our unspoken prayer, I come to you. God of a world that's lost, God of a lonely, lonely cross, God who has come to us, we come to you. In the beautiful key of D major, which is for Paul Field everywhere. The only
It's a
key ever
beautiful
written.
song, and Jonathan has done the song proud for the new album. What
With
can I say?
Mark.
With Mark, absolutely, with Mark.
Beautiful,
You two are a fantastic team, and it's just going to be
Volume
a
two.
glorious
What
album.
It's
It's just stunning. Now, very quickly, those of you who didn't hear before, those of you who contributed to the crowdfunder will get a copy of the lockdown sessions sent to you without you having to, volume 2, sent to you free of charge, because that's what we felt we wanted to do. And if you would like to order some more on top of that, then please do. I'm hoping to have it on the website by the end of this week. And as we mentioned, hopefully we'll get it out very soon. So we're going to be sending it off for duplication this week. And so hopefully it should be in my little sweaty hands before long. And
They're not neither little nor sweaty, darling.
For those of you who've enjoyed this evening and would like to revisit some of the songs, we have sung a few from It Is Well. So It Is Well, No More Night, You've Got a Friend, obviously. Yes, that's a beautiful album. So that's It Is Well, a beautiful album. For those of you who would like to enjoy some more of Jonathan Vera being very honest but funny about some of the things that have happened in his life, then the books are very laugh out loud and very, very easy to read, and I have lots of them available. So please feel free to go to the website, which is jonathanvera.com, and you can order any CDs or books that you would like to. As I said, I would hope to have Lockdown Sessions 2 up there available for you to pre-order as well. Those of you who have given us gifts, we are so grateful. We do not take it for granted, and we are so humbled and grateful for your kindness.
And can we say that you don't pay for this?
No, you don't.
This is not.
No.
You don't pay
These
for
are
this.
gifts. We
Okay.
don't expect anything.
This is not a
So
payment for services received or anything like that. This is simply, if you'd like to, then you can.
and those of you who can't,
You
absolutely
don't even feel anything.
don't feel at all
Nothing.
obliged, because we do not expect anything. But those of you who have given, thank you very much. It's either through paypal.me/Jonathan Vera, or it's through into our bank account, and you can get those details by writing to me on sue@jonathanvera.com. 25% of anything that you give us always goes to a charity of some kind, and this week it will go to our lovely charity, our own charity, Got a Friend Trust, and we are delighted with the people who are being supported and helped through that. So please, if you know of someone who has a need, please contact Get a Friend Trust, and if you have a need yourself and you would like to just say, look, I'm not sure if I can ask for help or whatever, just either to write to us, or again contact Adrian through Got a Friend Trust. He's such a nice man, and he would love to talk to you about it.
He's
So,
from the Isle of Wight, but he's still nice.
but apart from that, but thank you. 2 weeks, 2 hours just flies by, and we are so thrilled to have had you here in our front room with us. As my mother said to me this morning, she said, how do they all get in there? It's like the TARDIS in here. But thank you so much for coming and joining with us, and have a good week, people.
And we're just so grateful to Sue and Steve, who gave up their whole Thursday night, to Rachel, who put that whole thing together, and the great pressure. Her Mac wasn't working very well, and so it
As
took
ever,
time.
we are astounded by their abilities and patience and
Ben,
love.
Claire and Rachel.
Thank you, guys.
And so, the song you've been waiting for, from the lady in the sequin dress, ladies and gentlemen, doing a tour all over
The Northwest.
women's meetings of
In the Northwest.
Not the word. You're not doing a tour of the Northwest, Sue, okay? I hate to break this to you. You can't do it. Okay?
Little acorns. I'm just going to say little acorns.
Okay, the 2.99s or 3.99s or whatever
The
they are.
3,999.
Oh, the 3.99s or whatever. Well, anyway, it goes like this. Go peaceful in gentleness through the violence of these days. Give freely, show tenderness in all your
Through the darkness, in troubled times, let holiness be your aim. Seek wisdom, let faithfulness burn like a flame.
God speed you,
God lead you and keep you wrapped around His heart. May you be known
by Lord.
be right.
God hold you, enfold you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love. Now a little blessing. We always end all 46 shows from the book of Numbers in the way back in the Old Testament, Numbers chapter 6. We call it the Aaronic blessing, not the ironic blessing, but the Aaronic blessing. And it goes like this. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you. Be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious to you and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you who have attended. Watch us later on in the week. God bless you and see you next
Love
week.
you lots. Have a good week. Keep in touch through the Facebook community.